Hello, everybody. It is almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I would be in bed right now, but I just thought of something that I thought that I'd share with you all. It's about social anxiety, and I realize a lot of people don't really understand what that means. It, you know, it's not the same thing as being shy or as being introverted. I mean, I am introverted, but I also have social anxiety, which makes it harder for me to interact with people and to be in large crowds. When you have social anxiety, you have an illogical fear that people are talking about you or judging you, and when you have this, when you have social anxiety, you know people probably aren't talking about you. Logically you know that, but it doesn't stop the fear from going away or the worry from going away that they are talking about you. I have a hard time talking to people and starting conversations. I'm always worried that I'm saying too much or not enough. And I think I said this in another video. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember exactly what I said in my other videos, because I usually just post them and never watch them again. So if I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. But anyways, I don't really know if my social anxiety is part of my Asperger's syndrome or autism or whatever we want to call it, or if it's just something completely separate, or if it's a part of, or if it's a result of the bullying and the teasing and taunting I went through when I was a young teenager, because I was teased and taunted a lot when I was a teenager. I was called slut, whore, stupid, even spat on. So I don't really know if that's kind of carried on into adulthood, because I am very reluctant to trust people. I'm always questioning their motives, wondering if they're gonna stab me in the back. So I tend to kind of walk around life with my fists up in like a defensive way. But anyways, and I'm also constantly comparing myself to other people. So I don't know if my social anxiety is because of that, because of my Asperger's or autism or whatever, or if it's just a separate thing. I'm not really sure if anyone's actually born with social anxiety. But I mean, I guess you could be. I'm not really sure if you are born with it or not, or if you just develop it over time. Frankly, I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, we know people with social anxiety, or any kind of anxiety. We know that most of our fears are irrational. But that does not stop us from having them. I'm always wondering if people are talking about me or judging me, or doing something of that nature. Sorry, I want a coffee. Anyway, but if you are suffering from social anxiety or any kind of social issue, my advice is, if you are in a crowded place like a gathering or a party, find somewhere where you can be alone, like outside, another room, or even a bathroom. Bring something to occupy yourself with, like a phone, and if you see someone try and stick with them. But don't be afraid to branch out. If someone starts talking to you, don't be afraid to talk back to them. I mean, I'm afraid to talk to people too. So I understand how hard it is. And I've never been the kind of person to seek out a conversation or start a conversation with somebody. I usually just let them lead the conversation. So if you have to do that, do that. Just just let them lead the conversation. Let them ask the questions, and throw in a couple questions yourself. Where my hair will not stay down for the life of me. But anyway, also what was I gonna say? Oh hell, I can't remember. But yes, social anxiety is a hard thing to deal with, but it's but it doesn't have to interfere with your life. It doesn't have to affect your life. I let it affect my life maybe too much. That's probably why haven't been invited to anything for a long time, because people would just figure I'm going to say no, and they're probably right. I probably will say no. So don't take my example. Don't let it interfere with your life, because I've let it interfere with my life for too long, and I don't really know how not to. But sometimes I'm forced to be in a social situation. So I've developed my own coping mechanisms, like the ones I said earlier: find a place to be alone, stick with someone you know, occupy yourself somehow. And like I said, I'm also a bit of an introvert, so and that's not really the same thing as social anxiety. When you're an introvert, talking to people just kind of drains you a bit. It just kind of tires you. So you have to be alone so you have to find time for yourself to recharge a bit. Sorry. Holding this phone and recording gets kind of tedious after a while. In fact, my arm's starting to hurt, so I'm gonna have to stop soon. But I just wanted to get that out there. So, thank you for watching, as always. And I wanted more coffee. Thank you for watching, and goodbye, good night. And goodbye, good night, good morning, depending on what time it is, wherever you are. Oh hell, goodbye.